Welcome to the Uncommon Transformation television series.
Akwa Ibom ayayao Siyana baraswene kisonge mananye Akwa Ibom ayayao ayayao
You are welcome to Akwa Ibom State, the land of uncommon transformation. Come and join us, live amongst us, and invest, and you will not regret. I welcome you.
We come together to give new depth and breadth to the uncommon transformation of our state and set an agenda for more in 2013. Those were the exact words of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Chief Godswill Obote-Okpabio, as he presented the 2013 state budget christened Budget of Industrialization and Consolidation to the State House of Assembly for consideration. According to him, credit must be given to the legislature that has provided, in his words, quote, the wings for us to take the state to new heights of socio-economic achievements which have helped to define the state as a Nigerian wonder story, unquote.
Right Honorable Speaker, sir, leaders and honorable members, your time in this hallowed chamber would forever be engraved in the tablets of our history as the turning point in our journey as a people. You have shown great love for our state, genuine respect for democracy, and through a legacy of sound and sanguine legislation, which has put our state in a more harmonious and stable atmosphere, you have made history for yourselves and families. You have brought about justice, you have brought about peace, you have charted the cause of peace, you have endeared yourselves to all Akwa Ibom people. I'll be failing in my duties as the governor of this great state if I fail to express the sentiments I've just expressed, and also bring you a message of felicitations from our dear people. If I fail to share with you the eternal thankfulness and gratefulness of all Akwa Ibom people to this house. Thank you. May God be with you.
Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Sam Ikon, expressed satisfaction with the governor whom he said has performed creditably and pledged the unalloyed support of the legislature to his administration, even as he promised expeditious consideration of the budget. The speaker particularly commended the governor's wife, Mrs. Ekaite Unorma Akpabio, whom he said has been a strong pillar in the transformation of the women and the less privileged in the state, the first and only first lady of the state to be so recognized by a sitting assembly.
Our state, transform our state from a pedestrian state to a destination. And we are happy to be your partners in this endeavor. So we have noted with pride that since your last visit here, we've seen the completion of the 4th Mile Road, we've seen the completion of the new governor's office, we have witnessed the completion and commission of the underground drainage pipeline system along Kalekuna Park Road. We have noticed the completion of over 500 interministerial projects spread all over our constituencies. We have also noticed and taken note of the completion of the cottage hospital in East Nambola. We have also witnessed the completion and commissioning of the Akanu Road, not to talk about the e-library. And within this period, we've seen the commencement of work in the Olympic-sized stadium. These what you mentioned just a few. Your Excellency, as a legislature committed to the service of our people, who swore to do that which is right, we feel satisfied with your service to the people, and we commend you.
Indeed, the story of Akwa Ibom State has become like a wonder to many that many would prefer to tag the man at the saddle as a miracle worker, considering the fast pace of development and quantum leap which Governor Akpabio has brought to the state in barely 5.5 years. Within the time under review, the state has for the first time had world-class infrastructure including an international airport, an e-library, a pipe-jacking underground drainage system, an entertainment center, the Tropicana complex to boost the state tourism potentials, a second 5-star hotel, an Olympic-sized stadium, flyovers and other bridges across the length and breadth of the state, over 1,000 kilometers of roads, both state and federal, all with street lighting facilities, a new governor's lodge, a digitally driven governor's office, an independent power plant, the Ibom Industrial City, among several other projects which time and space would not allow mention here. Realizing that the only way to remain at the top is by consolidating on the gains so far recorded, Governor Akpabio is proposing a budget that will help the administration resolutely complete ongoing projects and improve the standard of living of the people, using available resources at its disposal.
As the governor of this great state, I have interests of my people at heart. That is not in doubt. Thus, the compelling force behind the 2013 budget proposal, Mr. Speaker, is to consolidate on the gains so far achieved, resolutely complete all ongoing projects, and improve the standard of living of our people using the available resources at our disposal. In specific terms, the main policy objectives of the 2013 budget include to improve the standard of living of the citizens of the state, to develop and implement strategic plans for the complete industrialization of the state and the enhancement of our employment generating capacity, to optimize the sources of the key economic drivers, particularly agriculture, small and medium scale enterprises, and laying a foundation for real sector growth, to develop strong sectoral linkages in the developmental processes of the state, particularly in health, housing, education, transport, and sports sectors, to continue to intervene through the use of direct labor projects to sustain the pace of socio-economic transformation of our rural communities and satellite towns in the state capital, to ensure a peaceful and safe society through effective security surveillance in the state, to promote youth and women empowerment, as well as ensure the protection of the child and vulnerable groups in society, which of course will bring about equal opportunities for all. To expand and diversify the resource base of Akwa Ibom State through the encouragement of public-private partnership, PPP, and direct private investment, the DPIs. To enthrone best practices as an abiding principle of public sector administration, and ensuring effective and efficient application of our limited resources.
Out of the total budgetary outlay of 459.305 billion naira for 2013 and predicated on an oil benchmark of $75 per barrel, the Akpabio administration is allocating a whopping 340.515 billion or 80% to capital expenditure and 118.790 billion or 20% of the budget to recurrent expenditure. This has been a regular feature of the Akpabio administration since its inception. This has been the fulcrum which supports the massive infrastructural renaissance witnessed in the state these last 5.5 years.
For the 2013 financial year, government has proposed a total budgetary outlay of 459.3 billion, as against the total revised appropriation of 533.1 billion for 2012 fiscal year. Of the total proposed budget, 118.7 billion is allocated to recurrent expenditure, while 340 billion is billed for capital projects. This represents a recurrent capital ratio of 1:3. The total projected recurrent revenue for 2013 is estimated at 370.2 billion, as against the revised revenue of 389 billion for 2012. The breakdown is contained in the profile we'll give you. For the 2013 fiscal year, recurrent expenditure is proposed at 118.7 billion, made up of 49.5 billion for personnel costs, 26.06 billion for overhead costs, and 43.1 billion for consolidated revenue fund charges, including pensions, gratuities, and public debts. Let me look at the capital expenditure. The total capital receipts and expenditure for the year 2013 is estimated at 340 billion, as against the corresponding revised figure of 454.9 billion for 2012. A total of projected capital receipts shows that 251.4 billion will be transferred from the consolidated revenue fund, while the balance of 89 billion is to be realized as follows. Of course, we have the opening balance at about 30.9 billion, internal and external loans, grants, and miscellaneous, etc. Ecological funds will also be added.
A sector-by-sector review shows that the economic sector gulped the lion's share with a whopping 174.389 billion naira, or 51.20%, followed by social services, which was allocated 68.782 billion. General administration got 62.711 billion, while environmental and urban development was allocated 34.633 billion.
Let me look at sectoral programs one by one. Agriculture, for instance. The year 2012 witnessed a serious turnaround in agricultural development in Akwa Ibom State. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, introduced the Agricultural Transformation Agenda, ATA, and Growth Enhancement Support Program, GES, aimed at making agriculture a business. The state government keyed into these programs to tap the derivable benefits therefrom. In 2012, the 540,000 egg capacity poultry hatchery, many of you will be hearing this for the first time, the 540,000 egg capacity poultry hatchery built by this administration at Biayaoran local government in Uruan has been completed and is ready for production of day-old chicks for the teeming poultry farmers in Akwa Ibom in particular and South-South geopolitical zone in general.
This year's budget is strictly on the completion of all ongoing projects. because of our constraint in cash flow. And we are also very mindful because of the peculiar uncertainty in the international oil market. So we are trying to work within the framework of our available resources. And we also believe that in the course of the fiscal year, we'll also explore other internally generated revenue potentials of the states. It's a result of this that we have actually increased our internally generated revenue of Akwa Ibom State government vis-a-vis about last year's budget. And this has to do a lot with the fact that what gets measured gets done. We believe we can streamline the key performance indicators for our IGR offices. I mean, that will actually drive their monthly targets.
For the year 2013, the following programs, projects, and policies are to be vigorously pursued. These include forest regeneration, protection, nursery development, wildlife sanctuary, biodiversity conservation, provision of drainage scheme, gully erosion and flood control statewide, urban refuse disposal program, maintenance of existing flood and erosion control facilities statewide, waste management activities, among others.
Government has embarked on various programs and activities aimed at creating and sustaining a clean and healthy environment, in addition to the attainment of the 7th Millennium Development Goal, environmental sustainability. We will continue to pursue good projects and policies. Forest regeneration and protection, nursery development, wildlife sanctuary, biodiversity conservation, provision of drainage system in Uyo, the Secretariat Complex drainage, the Tropicana site, gully erosion, we will fight gully erosion, flood control statewide, urban refuse disposal program, maintenance of existing flood and erosion control facilities statewide, waste management activities, sewage treatment facilities, landscaping services, Uyo urban frontages upgrade. We have to upgrade most of the frontages in Uyo. Baseline studies, coastal erosion control, development through maintenance of open space recreational park and surroundings of public institutions, etc.
That the 2013 budget is christened Budget of Industrialization and Consolidation is an eloquent testimony of the Akpabio administration's policy on industrialization, which seeks to establish at least one cottage industry in each of the 31 local government areas of the state using the public-private partnership PPP model. This, the state chief executive says, is irrevocable.
Government's intention to facilitate the establishment of industries in the 31 local governments across the entire state is on course. That promise is irrevocable. We will drive it in 2010 and 13 with vigor. Development of investment enterprises such as deep sea ports, oil and gas industrial processing and free trade zone. The federal government, for the information of the Right Honorable Speaker and members, through the approval of Mr. President, has inaugurated an implementation committee in collaboration with the Akwa Ibom State government and has appointed a consultant and of course an advisor to ensure the realization of the noble objective of the deep sea port. That program is on course at Ibaka. The initiative aims at development of a multilateral business interactive zone to expand industrial and commercial activities will be vigorously pursued in 2013. We will also undertake the Ibom Enterprise Development Scheme, aim at floating funds for investment in small and medium-scale enterprises for those of you who want to go into business. Of course, that will come through the Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation. We will assist the development of finance in the existing institutions. Very recently, the state government also signed a memorandum of understanding with the Bank of Industries to develop the entrepreneurial capacity of our small and medium-scale industrialists. Now, this collaboration is to create an industrial fund of about 5 billion in the Bank of Industries, with the state government putting in counterpart funding of about 2.5 billion, and Bank of Industries making up the balance. This will help for them to lend to serious-minded entrepreneurs in the state to develop their production capacity. It will help them to generate employment opportunities, alleviate poverty amongst our people. So we are trying to ensure that you have various funds available for you to go into business. This for me is a demonstration of our desire and commitment towards the achievement of our industrialization policy trust. And we know that this is possible.
One sector that has received so much attention since Governor Akpabio assumed leadership of the state is the road and transport sector. In the last 5.5 years, the administration has constructed more than 1,000 kilometers of roads across the 3 senatorial districts of the state using highly reputable indigenous and international construction companies. A number of these roads were completed and commissioned, while others were not. The focus of government, therefore, for 2013 will be on the completion of all ongoing road construction projects across the state. To this end, a total of 89.070 billion naira has been provided for road infrastructure and transport next year.
This sector has witnessed a revolution in our uncommon drive to fully reposition our dear state as a desired destination for Nigerians. The state government has in the past 5 years constructed over 1,000 kilometers of roads, including federal roads across the state and across the 3 senatorial districts. We have committed over 500 billion and expended a lot of expertise using highly reputable and highly indigenous companies, some also international companies. Generally speaking, construction work on most of the roads have been completed and commissioned. A few are at various stages, and we hope to also start more in 2013. We are already on the dualization of Uyo to Ikotipene has already started, and Mr. President has graciously approved that the federal government will refund the money for that job. In fact, the president approved that we should dualize even up to Aba in Abia State, and also dualize from Ikotipene all the way to Calabar. Ikotipene to Calabar should be about 115 kilometers, and Uyo to Aba should be a distance of about 64 kilometers. If we finish the Uyo to Aba, we will have enhanced the usage of our airport. And of course, if we finish from Ikotipene to Calabar and dualize it, we will have enhanced the usage of the quarry that brings all the materials that we use for construction. And it will stop the suffering of our people going to Calabar, because we need to continue to maintain a very good relationship with the 2 states.
During the outgoing year, the State Ministry of Information and Communication and Government worked assiduously to keep the citizenry informed of the uncommon transformation projects and programs through the production of weekly news bulletins, impact magazines, almanac, diaries and documentaries, as well as spotlights in the print and electronic media. The state broadcasting outfit, the AKBC Radio and Television, has been provided with state-of-the-art digital outside broadcasting OB van, new transmitters, thunder arrestor, among other things.
Information management and sensitization of the people on the policies and programs of government is important. During the 2012 fiscal year, Ministry of Information and Government worked assiduously to keep the citizens informed of the uncommon transformation projects and programs of this administration. The Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, the radio and television, must be commended for doing a good job. And we had to purchase and OB-van to ensure instant and live transmission whenever events are in progress.
While pledging a faithful implementation of the budget when passed, the governor called for its expeditious consideration for the overall benefit and happiness of the good people of the state. But despite all the accolades the administration has received these last 5.5 years, the man at the center of the Uncommon Transformation Train, Chief Godswill Obote-Akpabio, says, quote, "We are not perfect, and our democracy is still evolving. We are called to a perfect mission, a mission to give strength to the weak, education to the poor, hope to the downtrodden, jobs to the jobless, food to the hungry, shelter to the homeless, equal opportunities to our women, and better life to our people." Unquote. Better life to the people it is indeed. That's exactly what the people here are enjoying, courtesy of the Governor Godswill Obote-Akpabio administration.